You are now listening to the Lancescurv Show, the boldest spot on internet radio.
Well, my name is Summer, and I'm originally from New York, Queens, New York. Yeah.
Just like me.
Queens.
Oh, just like me.
Yeah. It's so funny, right?
Mm-hmm.
But so when I grew up in my era, there was a lot of things that I have to start by saying this, that what I was going to say, prior to starting this call, is that I live in a bubble. Like my life is pretty simple, right? And by probably the world standard or mainstream society, my life is probably boring, but I'm good. Like I meet with my friends, have dinner, hang out, do whatever, go to church, school, I'm in school and working. And so,
right.
But I'm happy and I'm content with my life. And I had, sometimes I would see these things on YouTube about, black men going in on black women. And I'm like, man, as a black woman, I'm thinking, is this, I don't live like that. So how can the stuff that they're saying, how is that true? And then I started talking to other women, other black women. They was like, no, this is pretty bad. Oh, I just said my name. Can you edit my name out?
We'll edit that out.
Yeah, edit my name out. They're like, no, Larice, it's pretty bad. So,
but don't say it again. You said it again.
Huh?
No,
yeah,
but don't.
Yeah, sorry.
Okay, Summer.
But nevertheless, so I started seeing different things that the young girls were doing and the way that they carry themselves. And I'm thinking, man, I really must live in a bubble. And I was talking to this young lady today. She's like, not today, like a while ago. She's like in her 20s. And now I don't watch reality TV because I don't even really watch TV. So honestly, I don't know the shows that are on. Like I don't watch Scandal. And so I'm really in a bubble, right? Like I don't watch when people are talking about reality shows at work. I'm like, did you see that? I'm like, no, I don't. For a while, I didn't even have a TV. Like, I just bought a TV for like 3 years.
I don't watch TV at all.
Because I don't watch TV. And
Right.
then people get mad. They're like, well, why don't you watch TV? I'm like, because it's just not interesting to me. It's just not interesting. Like, I don't want to watch women fighting and cursing each other out. And those images are being perpetuated of black women even the more. And they, we already have a bad reputation, and yet you're getting paid to make it look like we are more drama than we are. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? So I asked this young girl, I said, nobody watches Kim Kardashian, right? Like, this is like, I'm really living under a bubble. And she's like, no, they really like her. I was like, really? Like, people want to be like her? She was like, yes. I was like, wow. So I guess in my world, I'm living in a bubble. And then and basically I brought that up to say that it just opened up a whole new world to me to see how much these young girls are like, they're missing it. Like they don't understand how you should really conduct yourself. They don't understand that men, they think that if they look like Kim Kardashian or if they look like, Amber Rose, that they're going to get married to a Kanye West. And it's like, it's not real.
Doesn't work like that.
No, it's not real. Like, you don't understand. These people, a lot of times it's staged and they're getting paid to be together. I mean, it's, you know what I mean? It's true.
Exactly.
It's just not real. So in my world, I'm thinking everybody knows, they know that stuff is not real. They're not, but they don't know it's real. It's really hurting, particularly our communities, because I was talking to a friend the other day, and we were talking about the young girls, and I noticed on this Instagram, this guy had posted a picture up. This is a black young guy, and he posted a picture up of two women. Like one set of women that had a Bible. They were like, oh, I can change him and save him. And then there was this other group of women was just a one girl, but she basically was showing her body parts, and she had a whatever body going on. And he was making a point that nobody's going to wife you up. This is why black women are not getting married. Like, you either have this extreme going over here with a Bible thinking that you can change a man, or then you have this other extreme thinking you can dress voluptuously and that somebody's going to wife you up, when neither one of those scenarios fit the criteria of what a man is looking for in this day and time.
Exactly.
Anyway, the girls on this whole Instagram, whatever chat, they were mad at the guys. They were going in on the men, calling them bitches and this and that. And I said, wait a minute. they're telling you what they don't want. I mean, you do want a man, I mean, unless you want a woman, but I mean, the guys are telling you they don't want that. Like, if they don't want it, then why do you insist on trying to be that? And you're not changing simply because you're trying to get a man, but wouldn't you want a man to wife you up? I mean, wouldn't you get tired of effing after a while? It becomes a little like, you know, you give your body to this one and this. Nobody wants somebody that's used up. And one guy went so far as saying, you know, he went so far as saying, yo, nobody wants their man, their boys to say, yo, your girl got a fat A. And I was like, yes. And then it just made me think about how, you know, recently, I would say over the last 2 years, there was two separate incidents where two young ladies were murdered. They were in a club, and they were, quote, unquote, with their men. I don't know the story. I'm not speaking on those stories, and I'm not saying that this is the case. Right. But what I am saying to the young ladies is, why would you go to a club dressed like a slut and put your man in a position where he feels like he got to protect his manhood to defend you when you don't even have to dress like that? You understand? Exactly. And then when somebody gets hurt, then now everybody's mad when you can be sexy without showing all your goodies. Exactly. You don't have to show all your goodies to be sexy. You can spice it up. I mean, I think Halle Berry is sexy, but you don't necessarily dress like a slut. Exactly. You know what I'm saying? And I'm a woman, and I ain't gay, but I'm just saying there's a way that you can present yourself in such a way that you do have sex appeal. You understand? You don't have to show all your goodies and wear tights and, I mean, basically showing your crotch to the point where a man got to size you up. You got to leave a little mystery so when he gets behind closed doors, he sees something that nobody else is seeing. Right. You understand? Come on. No man wants their goods. If you're his wife, no man. I mean, when I was coming up, you didn't even discuss what a man did not discuss what he was doing behind closed doors with his girl. That's right. Now, if she was a hoe, they was talking about her all day long. All day long. His wife, that was off basis. You was ready for a fight if that was his girl. You understand? But now it's such a disconnect. And the young girls think, oh, I'm going to wear what I want to wear because this, that. Boo, you can't do what a man can do. I don't care what mainstream society tells you. You can believe that hype all you want, but it ain't going to work for you. Trust me. When it comes out in the wash, you're going to be standing there by yourself. Because no man wants a woman that's going to walk around showing all her stuff and don't know how to conduct herself like a lady. That's right. It's still in trend to be a lady. I don't care what they say. A man wants somebody who's feminine, not someone who is acting like a man. Like just, I'm gonna wear my Timbs like him. And I'm not saying you can't wear Timbs, and sometimes you want to wear your dress down. Yeah, but you're still a lady. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying. Even the little girls, the way they dress the little girls nowadays, I see little girls in jeans and Timbs and, looking like a little boy. And I'm like, can you put a dress on her? Like sometimes, like, put some bows in her hair. Let her know that she's a female. You know what I'm saying? Let her grow up feeling like she's a girl and not a guy. You know what I mean? Because guess what? Now she got to feel like she got to compete with a man. And I don't care what Steve Harvey said. No, you can't. You can act like a lady and you can never think like a man. Why would you want to think like a man? I mean, hello. Why would I want to think like a man? And they say, oh, well, that's not what he means. I understand what he means. He's implying that you should understand the mind of a man. But you can understand his mind without trying to be a man. You understand? They want to be a man and they want a man too. It don't work like that. You can't have it both ways. Okay? You either going to be a lady and stay in your lane. And guess what? If you focus on being a lady enough, you won't have time to run after your man. He will be running after you if you do what you're supposed to do as a lady. You understand? I have a cousin right now. My cousin lives in Texas. He's like 30-something years old. And he's like, cuz I want to get married. Like, I'm looking for a wife. Right. He's looking for a wife. All these girls he meeting, they want to, you know what I'm saying? He met one girl. He just met her. He says, okay, let's meet at Starbucks. Right. She want him to take her to an expensive restaurant. I'm like, no, cuz if she can't meet you at Starbucks just to get to know you, you don't take nobody out to $100, you know what I'm saying? Exactly. An expensive 5-star restaurant, and then I don't even know you. She has to earn it, meaning, through her character. Be worthy of it. Yes, out the gate. I don't want you to take me. I said, leave her right where she at. Leave her right where she at. How you going to tell me to take you to a restaurant? I'm just, it's Starbucks. We get to know each other. You have a cup of coffee. Yeah, we vibing. Let me see. I wouldn't want to go to a restaurant with somebody that I'm not even vibing with like that.
Exactly.
Have a good time.
It'll be a strange time.
But these women, I don't even get the mentality that some women have. I'm saying I'm just going to go get a free meal. Really? Really? You're going to lower it down to the fact that you can't treat yourself out to have a meal if you so desire to do so?
Right.
Or go with your girls and just have a good meal, but you're going to go out on a date with somebody that the relationship is not going anywhere. You're not interested in him. So you're going to just go there and waste your time and waste his time. For what? I don't know about anybody else. My time is of the essence. I don't waste my time or my energy on people that I'm not going to invest in, period. Because that's time I can never get back. And that's the way I see it. And I don't know, maybe I process things like that because I'm a little older. Mm-hmm. But I've never been like that even when I was younger. I was like, I'm not interested in him. So, I wouldn't flat out tell a guy, I'm not interested in you, so I'm not going to. No, there's a way to be respectful.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? To let him know, in a nice way. I don't want to go. I had a guy one time that was interested in me, and I said, you know what, bro, I don't want to waste your time.
Right.
I'm sure there's someone out there for you.
That's
You're
right.
he was a nice guy. He
right.
had it going on. He had a great job, great car. He had a lot of great qualities, but I knew he wasn't for me.
For you.
And
That's
I knew we were not compatible. So rather than waste his time, I just was honest with him in a respectful way and let somebody else, you know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Let him go be with the one that perhaps God has for him, so I'm not wasting his time.
You speak a lot of sense. You speak a tremendous amount of sense.
Time. Yeah, I don't just like, I'm going to just go out with him just for the sake of going out and putting on an outfit and get my hair and nails done. For what? For what? Like, I got so much other important things. I could be productive and building up my own self.
Yes.
And, I like to meditate and learn how to meditate and, really getting understanding myself. You understand? You can't really even be with somebody if you don't have a good handle on who you are. And that's another point. Half these people, they don't know who they are. I think that's part of the problem.
Tell it.
They don't know who they are. They just think, oh, I'm cute. I got a big butt. I got big breasts, and I got my makeup on, and that's enough. Let me tell you something, baby. You got a big butt and a girl across the street, you can buy a booty nowadays. Don't nobody care about that.
Right.
You can buy a booty, you can buy breasts, you can buy hair, you can buy whatever you want. Nobody cares, okay? You just like the next girl across the street, a common girl with a big butt, with bringing nothing to the table but your big butt.
They're setting themselves up to be glorified friction providers.
Yeah, they want somebody they can build with. That's what my cousin said. He's like, Cuzzo, can I just get with a girl who don't want to just have sex?
Right.
He's like, I'm actually looking to be with someone I can build with. He's college educated. He was a college jock, played football when he was in college. He has his own after-school program for at-risk youth. He is doing a lot, giving back to the community. And he said, all I want, cuz, is somebody to build with. What about if I date a white girl? I'm like, yo, if you meet a white girl and she's ready to build with you, go for it. That's the way I see it. I ain't stopping nobody. I'm straight up and down. Love is too hard to find. You want to build with whoever your rib is, that's who you be with.
That's right.
That's it. That's the way I see it. Be with who your rib is. Somebody who's going to be with you when times get hard. They're not riding with you. You get you, as they say, a ride or die chick. Not somebody with you because you driving a Benz or because you look. Do we ever get past the part of some person just looking good? What else do you bring to the table? Because I don't go based off of looks. I want somebody who can stimulate me and actually make me think. You understand? Okay, this is somebody I can grow with, I can build with, we can vibe. You understand? I don't care about you. I'm not trying to talk. I have guys come to me. I know a guy, he has a Porsche. I guess. I don't know. I don't look at a man based off of what he's driving. I want to know his heart, who he really is. And, I guess I'm too old for that. There was a time when, I might have been impressed a little bit by your car, but I think I'm a little too old.
We all grow.
A little bit more substance to me than what kind of car you're driving. That means nothing to me. And that's what people miss. You got to think about, when people get married, there's vows that they make. I don't think people really take their vows serious, like in sickness and health. That's when the rubber meets the road. You understand? When a person, you know what I'm saying? You know, you live your life from day to day, but then when you're going through a crisis situation, and then that's when you know who's really with you, is when you're in a crisis, not when everything is going good. You understand? And that's what we're missing in society, because everybody's so fake. You understand? They want to live this fake life, but you're going to have trials. You're going to have tribulations. You're going to have things that you're going to run into. The kids might get sick. You may lose a loved one.
Yes.
Is that person going to still be there with you? And that's, you can't think about just today. You got to think long term. You got to project and see, is this the person that I want to be with when the chips fall down? Are they going to still be standing there with me? Or am I going to be left holding the bag by myself? But they don't think about that because everything is so temporary, and they get everything so quick today that they have no respect, no concept of what it means to be in a relationship that's really of substance. Somebody you can laugh with, talk with, you can look your worth, and they still love you. That's what it's about at the end of the day. All this stuff that they showing us in this world is all fluff. You can look at Kim Kardashian and, oh, I want to be like them. Okay, that's great. If you want to be like them, whatever. You understand? You don't know what they go through behind closed doors.
And what they had to do to get there.
Know.
That's right.
You understand? These people are getting paid because they're used to be a distraction to certain groups of people. You know, watching reality shows. And why is that even interesting nowadays? Like, I sometimes scratch my head because I'm like, people really watch this and it's entertaining? Like, what's entertaining about two women that's fighting and always that stuff? Let me tell you something. When you're constantly watching that kind of stuff, it gets inside of you.
Yes.
You start to believe that what they're doing is right and righteous, and it's not. It is nothing righteous about two women being catty because she said this and she said that and she trying to take my man. And they hyping it up like that's how you're supposed to live. That is not how we're supposed to live. That is abnormal. Okay, in case you didn't know, it's dysfunctional, okay? It's not normal for you to always be at odds with your regular common sister or brother. We were designed to live in harmony and to get along. Right. Now, does that mean you're going to like everybody? No, but you still should be mature enough to be able to respect that person and let them live whatever way they decide to live. Respect them enough to let them live that way, and don't try to change them to suit you, but respect them. And at the same time, why you got to argue? If you don't get along with somebody, just keep it moving. That's right. You know what I'm saying? But it's like people they want to make stuff to be the way they want it to be, and think it's gonna be right and righteous. There's no righteousness in sitting up arguing with people and trying to make things the way you want it to be, because you decide. You look at those shows, and now I just don't get the whole scandal piece either. Like I'm like, you get that she's like sleeping with a man, like somebody's husband. Like, does that go? Because what it is subliminal seduction.
Yes.
You understand? That stuff goes right into your subconscious. That's what people are missing. That's why I meditate, because you don't understand when you're looking at stuff like that, and then somebody's husband comes on to you. You've been watching that show all these last 3 years, and you start to think it's okay to have sex with a married man. You understand? You start, well, I'm going to do it because they make it look sexy on Scandal.
Oh,
she wear the best clothes, her hair is laid, and her makeup is banging, and she's beautiful, and she's sassy, and I'm going to be like her. Well, I bet you what, when she go home, she go home to one husband who's a black man. And I guarantee you, she don't want nobody sleeping with her husband. Okay, she's getting paid as called acting. But I don't support that, because I would never sleep with a married man. And that's right, I said never. Because for one, I know I'm better than that. Let's get that part straight. I'm better. I would not lower my standards to sleep with a married man. Trust and believe. He ain't leaving his wife for you. It's cheaper to keep her. Okay, so I don't know why these women don't understand that. I mean, I've had one woman say to me one time at work that she was messing with some guy that she met online, and she's like, "Oh, I think he's married." And I said, "Okay, if you think he's married, why are you still kicking it with him?" Like,
no, but the scary part about it is, you think he's married.
Yeah, I think he's married. And then I'm saying to myself, like, okay, so if you think he's married, what do you think he wants from you? Right. You're just a piece of ASS. Like, basically, if he's giving off he's letting you know he's married so he can get what he's going to get from you, and then what, he's going back home to his wife.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, do you get that? Like, no, they just think that's cute because I don't think nothing is, let me tell you something. There's absolutely nothing flattering about when a married man tries to talk to a single woman or even a married woman for that matter. Let me tell you something. That is an insult. If you know a man is and he got his ring on and he's still talking, he's letting you know he don't have no respect for you. Straight up and down, he's letting you know. He might as well tell you, I'ma just F you. He should just come right out with, I'ma just F you. But no.
Let me interject and just say to the listeners who will hear this, let me know your comments on what Summer just said. Because we know there's a lot of situations out there that, well, this one's not the same. We feel this one's special, and he will leave for me because he said he loves me or he pays my rent. I'd love to hear your comments on what our on-point sister here is saying. But continue on.
So, okay. Let's just say you're messing with a married man.
Mm-hmm.
And let's just say he is telling you that he's going to leave. But he's married. Why would you, and he has children, what about the kids? That's what I don't get about some of these women. What about, he's having problems with his wife because he come and tell me, why would you even listen to that? Why would you listen to another man come talk to you about what you think he's going to do to you? Shut that down. I wish a man would come start talking to me about his wife. Man, let me tell you, I don't have men. Let me tell you something. 9 times out of 10, and the brothers can speak to this, a man knows already what he can do to you before he even steps to you. He already knows, she's going to fall for it. I don't have no married men coming on to me. So they already know she ain't having it. That's right. I don't give off the vibe like I'm all of that or I don't have this hardcore exterior like, you bet not talk to me. No. I just bruh, I'm not on it. Like you can take that somewhere else. I don't do married men at all. I don't play that game because I know who I am, I know my value, and I know my worth. And I would not lower my standards to talk to a married man. Not to say that man is a bad guy, because I don't know. Because I also don't believe that every time a man cheats doesn't mean he doesn't love his wife. That's another thing that women get twisted. They get that all twisted because he slept with me. Men sleep with women for totally different reasons than women sleep with men. Mm-hmm. Like, come on, like really and truly, they don't do it for the same reasons, okay? 9 times out of 10, they just banging you. That's it. They gonna get it and they going back home to their wife, who they really love. But most of these women, they don't get that. And even if you feel like a man is having problems, why would you listen to that? Why would you want to aid someone? Why would you want to aid someone in helping to destroy that household? You know how many people that I'm sure everybody who listens to this, they can you know someone who was married and the marriage broke up because maybe the mom cheated or the dad cheated, and how that affected the children. Yeah, that really affects children. Yeah. You know what I mean? And you have to think about the kids. What about this? Forget, even if you don't have no respect for the woman, what about the children? Mm-hmm. That affects little boys. My mom, she cheated on my dad, and I don't have no respect for women, or my dad. I know, let me tell you something. I know I have family members that my uncle, you don't know who my uncle is.
Right.
He did some things to their moms. He was my uncle by blood, but she was married into the family. They had 7 kids. Out of 7 of those kids, 6 of the kids stopped speaking to him because the dad cheated on the mom.
Wow.
You understand what I'm saying? Like, come on. Like, and I'm not saying that he wasn't wrong in his actions, but at the same time, don't co-sign with that. Yes. Don't you be that woman to co-sign with that. If he wants to destroy his family and whatever reasons, I don't know, maybe he wanted to leave his wife or cheated, whatever. It's not for me to figure out. Mm-hmm. The point is, I ain't co-signing with that. I'm not going to be the one to help tear down or destroy somebody's family. Yes. I have too much pride and I have too much respect, not only for myself, but for my people as a community. We have too many single-parent households, too many women out here trying to hold it down and do it on their own. And now the numbers are climbing. You have a lot of single dads that are trying to do it on their own. So we have to think about that. If you say you really care, these are the same people that'll go out there and march with Trayvon, march against what happened to Trayvon Martin, and they'll march in Black Lives Matter. But you don't even care that you're sleeping with a married man. I think your priorities are mixed up. You need to get that together, because that matters. You know what I'm saying? Black lives matter in all aspects. Not
That's right.
Just when
That's
somebody's
right.
murdered. Let me tell you something. When you go and help destroy somebody's family, divorce is horrible. It's like a death.
Yeah.
I've been through divorce.
Yes.
Let me tell you something. Literally,
Same
they
here.
compare divorce to death. Okay?
Yes.
It is tragic when a person goes through divorce. Okay? It's nothing to play with. When two people come together and you say you're gonna live your life with this person for the rest of your life, and it's like a tearing happens in the spirit, if you can even see in the spirit.
Yes.
And I'm not saying you have to be a Christian Buddha, but let's just think in the spirit.
We all have the spirit,
natural.
the spirit self. Regardless of the way we worship, we all have the spirit self, whether we acknowledge it or not. It's there.
Yes. And that's what connects you, because your spirit is much more stronger than your natural man, what you see in your physical. It's much more stronger, because everything happens in the spirit first, and then whatever happens in the spirit, it is manifested in the natural later on.
That's right.
So most people don't know that. But I'm just saying that is the case, So when two people come together in marriage, and you don't understand what happens in the spirit realm when you come between that. I would just advise any woman, don't do that. It's just not healthy. You cause so much pain, so much breakdown. I would never. The woman that was messing with my husband, I confronted her. And let me tell you something. I didn't confront her like, yo, you messing with my man. I went to her to reason with him. I said, listen, I'm a married woman. She was single. I said, someday you're going to be married.
Right.
You don't want somebody messing with your husband. You know what she said? Well, I'm not the one you should be talking to. You should be talking to your husband. And you know what I said? You know what? You're right. But I thought that you was a reasonable woman and that I could talk to you like woman to woman, out of respect.
Right.
Because one day, like I said, you don't want to sow those seeds and then it comes back on you, because this is not a position that I would put any woman in. Ever. I would never go and mess with somebody's husband and think I'm in the right because he kicking it to me because he talking about his wife. They could have just had an argument that day, and then what you gonna do? Jump in there? He come to work talking about his wife, and then you feeling good about yourself because you happen to look cute that day on the physical part, and then you get in the mix of all of that, and the next thing you know, they divorcing. Come on, man.
Yeah.
Get over yourself. It's not that serious. It's not that serious. And I don't care what nobody say. They say, oh, there's a shortage of men, black men. There's not. Listen. There's no shortage. I guess if you think like that, then there is. But you can date globally now. Like I have a friend who met her husband in Greece. There's like you can date globally. You do not have to stay in the United States. Like, do you know you can date whoever you want now? Like the times that we're living in, there's black men that's not even marrying black women. They going to other countries, Brazil, meeting women. You know what I'm saying? So don't limit yourself. You don't have to get a man that's from America. You can meet a nice man that's overseas. Dubai somewhere. I don't know. They look black. I don't know. People probably wouldn't call them black, but the brothers look good. They're very handsome, but. You know what I'm saying? You can date whoever you want. Don't limit yourself to just American men. It's nowadays, the times we're living in, a lot of these black men, they don't even want to date or marry American women.
Right. And
I can kind of see to some degree now why, because like I said, I was living in a bubble and I just couldn't see it because I'm like, well, I don't do that. So
right.
I don't do that, and I don't have friends that do that. Like, the majority of my friends are married, and they have excellent husbands and families. And so when I would hear some of this stuff that the Tommy Sotomayor's was saying, I was like, who does that? Like, what woman does that? And I'm like, yeah, we know there's some ratchetness going on, but I didn't realize the magnitude that this stuff was happening in. I really didn't. I live, I guess, under a rock because I wasn't paying attention, and I don't go to clubs or
right.
I don't live, where I live. I just see a certain caliber of people. You know what I mean? Where I work, I just, doctors and nurses. That's what I see like all the time, and I go to work, and like I said, my life is kind of boring. So a lot of stuff I just don't see. And so when people was telling me these things, I was just totally oblivious until and then I wasn't on Facebook and Instagram for a while, so I really was out of the loop. And then I get on Instagram. I finally got off of Instagram because I was like, this is just too much. I mean, why do you have to show your boobs and your butt? And can you just put a picture? I don't want to see all of that. Like,
well, it's prostitution now.
It's porn.
You see, but see, the thing is, we have become. I'm not saying you or I'm just saying in general. We have become that interchangeable, disposable profile picture where the profile picture is what represents us and grabs the attention. And for those who are thinking like that, this is their shot. So you struggle. You make sure the lighting is right. And to make the boobs look bigger, you have to lay on your back and let them fall up under your chin. And when you're on your back, it's an automatic facelift because all the meat on your face from eating the bad food falls back, so you look automatically slimmer. And then you have to do the duck lip thing or put one butt cheek up on the sink, arch your back and get in this position. Or pigeon-toed, to throw the hips out and show the contour. All of these tricks, and these men go for it. But then when these women have the pictures up, even the innocent women who just have a normally beautiful picture up, they will get the pictures that they didn't ask for of the male genitalia. You see, so yes. You could be a married woman, you'll get it. You could be whatever, you'll get it. Look, let me tell you something. As much as I am out here on social media, would you believe that I get a good amount of pictures from men showing me their penises, taking a shot of them, hoping that I'm on the down low?
Wow.
Yes.
You gotta be kidding me.
If I decided to go to the dark side and blow everybody up and show what I see, okay, the kind of pictures that are handed to me and sent to me and the kind of men, okay, the women don't shock me. And I'm not saying I'm all that. I'm a married man, but I understand when you become that friend that puts energy into giving stuff out, a little wisdom, a little entertainment, and people get attacked. I understand that. But a dude, come on, man. Hey, SCURV, I'm going to be rolling through Orlando in another 2 months, and I really like what you're doing, man. And I don't share this with everybody, SCURV, but I'm a little versatile in my approach to life, and I was a little closed-minded at one time to other experiences, and I'm digging your energy. And I'd like to know, maybe we can go to a concert or, a concert. Okay? I'm reading, or maybe we can take a nice walk around the lake, and have a nice dinner and, come chill in the room. Come chill in the room? I don't know you. Okay, if you were my boy from back in the day, we grew up, and you coming down tired, you said, man, tonight, man, I'm go chill in the room, watch a football game. Come on, man. Oh, I know what it is. But I don't know you, and then now they bring it on home. Man, you were doing that video the other night, man, and man, your lips, something about your lips, man. Oh my God.
You gotta be kidding me.
Yes.
Oh my God.
Yes.
That's hilarious.
Now there are people who are of that persuasion, who are open with it, who are like, listen, Lance, what you said about the men who molest kids or how our women need to be supported. And yes, I am a part of the LGBT community, but we ain't on it like that. I'm telling you, brother, on a righteous level, I love you heart to heart. It ain't about that. We not, they'll let you know this is about something else. Right. This is not about that or trying to swing it around to that. But there's a lot of dudes out here, and I really wonder, and I feel so bad for the women out here. Not only do you have to worry if you're dealing with a man who's secretly married, and that's going to come out. You can't hide with that. But it makes it easier now to play those games. But now you got to worry if the dude that you messing with likes the same thing that you like. Wow. How tragic.
That's kind of scary.
Oh, I can share and tell you so many. It's
scary.
Yeah. Okay. And if you do what you do, and I'm saying this out in the open. If you do what you do it. Stay true to it.
Right.
But don't bring somebody else in on a lie. That's the problem I have. You know?
Yes, I agree.
Because,
totally agree with that.
Yeah. HIV is out there. And I have a way of breaking it down. You're hurting innocent victims with your lies. HIV. See? So it's an epidemic. It's not even, look, we see that flaming gay dude in our neighborhood. We go downtown. We go to the mall. We see him. But you know what? That's the minority. They don't go after the other flaming dudes. No. They want the straight acting dude. And not only that, but they want that dude that's married. That's a bigger catch. You know why? Because here you are.
I want to know why. Why?
Oh, yeah, I'm going to tell it. Not that I'm on that side saying it. I'm on the receiving end, and I meditated on this. And this is my take on it. Maybe there's somebody else I'm wrong, but this is how it stands with me. And there are a lot of parallels with that other woman also, and that gay dude. And let me clean that up. I just want to throw that out there first. But let's talk about the gay dude who may be flaming or may not be flaming, but chances are he's flaming. And his catch, his biggest catch, is that guy who acts straight. And it's even sweeter to him when it's a married dude, because you see, now when he's doing what he does to this married man, I don't even want to think about saying it. We'll leave it at that. Whatever they do, right? He's thinking to himself, look at him. He left out of that nice house. He left the wife, the beautiful wife that any man would love to have, just to come out here 2:00 in the morning and be serviced by me. That gives this low self-esteem dude such a shot in the arm. Because
so it's like a power trip.
Yes, because if that woman was all that, with all her cooking and all her loving, she can't do it like me. That makes him feel more of the woman that he wants to be, that he knows he can never be. Okay? And this man who's married, and he gets off on the fact that married man appears straight to the world, because that gay dude will see him in the mall and wink like, I'm not trying to break up your facade, but we know the real deal. You go on and carry on with your straight acting self, because when that 2:00 in the morning urge comes, you know my digits, and I'm waiting for that call, and I'm going to hit you off better, and you know I can hit you off, and that's why you come to me, because I'm the sugar honey iced tea. I've observed over the years, and I've meditated on that. And I also have to say, not in every case, but in many cases, when you have that other woman, okay, many of these women have their reasons that they say to themselves why they do what they do with the married man. And of course, many situations are different. And of course, you might have that situation far and few between where that man is dealing with a situation that is unbearable or just not right or whatever, but he needs to handle that before he moves on. He needs to handle that and put some space between that so he doesn't bring the residue to the next situation. But check this out. You have this woman who comes up to the married man knowing good and damn well he's married. Okay?
Right.
And he appears to be a catch. But what that married man doesn't know is that it's not so much him, okay, that she's attracted to. She's attracted to the situation that he's in. Look at him. He's a married man. He's working hard. He's paying the bills. Look at the Facebook page. He's on a cruise with his wife. Look at the role he's playing. She wishes that her image was superimposed into every image that he sees his wife in. But then now there's a resentment, because in her situations in life, certain things didn't work out. Look at this now. I'm getting up in age and I didn't have that. Look at him with her buying her the roses. Look at him with her taking her to the restaurant. I didn't get that, or I had a little taste of it, but I don't have it now. I've been used and abused and taken off every step of the way. But you know what? I saw how he glanced at me in public. It could be that sister in the church. It could be that neighbor who lives around the corner. It could be that person who on the commute, you end up on the train or the bus stop or the ATM at the same time, but there's something of regularity. And people don't understand it's not so hard to find who you are on Facebook and spy on you in your life. But check this out. Now she has this resentment. The married man doesn't see that. All the married man sees is that maybe in a moment of weakness, or maybe he is just a dog that he can just get a little extra touchy feeling aside or a little feeling. And it's a game for him because you know what? He has it all. The beautiful wife, the home, the job, the kids, the functions, the respect, the friends. So I can grab a little bit of this. That's the immature little boy that's in him that lurks in many of us where if I can get more, I'm going to grab it. Even if it's just a feel up on her breast, I'm going to get it, right? Now, he's on a collision course with this woman who may very well be sexy because she's using her body as a weapon. You see, a lot of the women out here who are jogging and going to the gym, it's not that they're just health conscious. I'm not saying all, but there are a lot who are really just sharpening their swords before they go in for the kill. Now, this woman here, and I'm gonna break it down a little better, faster. She sharpened her sword. The waistline is tiny. The legs and thighs are shapely. The walk, the stride has been practiced. Nobody can walk in heels like this woman. She walks in heels like Michael Jackson moonwalks on stage when he was alive on this level before he transitioned. The gaze, and I don't mean gaze homosexual, the gaze, G-A-Z-E, that she gives shoots energy down, up, under all the parts that the man has. Is look at this woman. Look at the cleavage. Look at the skin tone, the hair. She is an erotic weapon. She's made herself. She took the beautiful attributes that God gave her and she turned it around because of her resentment and desperation and frustration because she doesn't like that wife that you have at home. She saw the pictures on Facebook or she saw you in the mall and she didn't like it. And that should be me. That shouldn't be her. She doesn't deserve that. Negro, it's not about you. And you coming with your, you're talking and you're thinking and using the lines that you haven't used in 2 decades, but it's not about you. She resents your situation and she's going to take from it. And just like that homosexual man that got a thrill from you coming over 2 a.m, it's not about the sex because she's going to give up every available orifice to you. Maybe even her nostrils if you're that kinky, okay? Just to have you in that position. And then begin to break up what you have. Yes, she's going to give it to you. She's going to give it to you just like that Chinaman in the mall who gives that piece of sesame chicken for free on a toothpick just to get you to come back. That's some good sesame chicken. Let's go back and get some. And if they were supposed to be 20 pieces in that box, they're 18. You think you got over. I got a free piece. No, he shorted you one for the next fool to come along. There's a biblical scripture that says these types of women are out there to devour and destroy these types of men and rob you of your salvation, right? So now while you laying back, I'm getting over. My house is almost paid off and I'm about to get into my retirement. My kids are going to be out the house. My wife's still looking good and we going to go on them cruises. And then this woman is waxing your brains. Read between the lines. I'm not gonna go like the other shows, okay? But she's resentful, and you get hooked on what she does and performs on you, and you can't get enough. But now she starts to pull away. Well, I see on your Facebook page that you plan on taking your wife over to Italy, and I got to work my job, and I'm sitting here, and my place needs to be fixed up, but I don't get that. Well, you know, girl, I'll help you out a little bit. No. You got to do a little more. And there are women who will throw hints, show up at the house, know your rhythm. They in a line next to you at Sam's Club. They're going to start dropping phone calls and you'll see the hate then. You'll see the resentment then. Say, what's wrong?
That is so dangerous.
I thought we were having fun.
Mm.
No, she never intended to have fun. She's resentful of what she didn't have, and she's going to give you something to get back at that woman. Because you see, the other thing now, and I'm going to let you talk. I talked enough. This is all about you tonight.
Good. That's fine.
The other thing is that when a woman like that with those type of resentments tell themselves that all men are dogs, there are no good men, men are just cheap, all of them cheat, guess what? When they see one who doesn't or appears not to, they can't accept it, because now they've got to change their total thinking of men, and now they've got to look at themselves and say, well, if that one doesn't cheat, who have I been dealing with? If that one doesn't cheat, what am I if all those I've dealt with cheat? See?
Right.
So now I got to destroy that icon to fit into my thinking, so I don't have to be pulled out of the comfort zone every time I know a man like that exists. Brothers, it's not about you. It's not about you. They will get down on their knees and not to pray, to do other things and wax it well. But it's not about you. They're looking to bring you down to that level, destroy you, and go off now because look at that. You ain't no different. And they'll say it in the middle of the act. You think things are going good, they'll turn around and look at you. And you catch them looking at you. You back there about to snore, and then you bought 2-3 more hours of time, and look at him. He ain't no different than the other ones. Family man. Look at him. And they have your doom ready. And after you've thrown out or your stuff is broken up and you're not home anymore and the kids are suffering and the house has to go up for sale, you think she wants you? Do you think?
Wow.
Go on and try to go on and be with her. Oh, you don't make enough money for me.
Those are the same women that say they don't want a man.
There you go.
Those are the same women that be, I don't need no man.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want no man. I don't need no man.
Mm-hmm. And down at the mall or in the street, those breasts are sitting out like 2 pieces of sesame, a chicken from the Chinese joint. And here you are wanting to grab a bite and get a taste. And there's a price to pay. See?
That's funny.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Unbelievable.
But I want to hear you talk. Enough of me.
Live in. But that's the time we live in. I mean,
yeah.
I was saying today to a friend of mine, I forgot what we were discussing, but I'm sure it was along this topic. Yeah, it was along this topic because I was talking about you, about your show and the different topics you have on your show. And she was sharing some things with me, and I said, the time that we're living in, we're becoming more barbaric. We're becoming animalistic. Like, people don't get that even the fact that a woman thinks that she can do what a man can do is just, to me, I feel like the roles are reversing. I feel like in a sense, men are becoming more effeminate and the women are becoming more masculine. And that's not even God's design. I mean, if I could throw God in there, that was never his design. But for the most part, I just also feel like we're digressing, in a lot of ways. That be like, technology, people look at technology and they say we're advanced, and of course we can do things a lot quicker than what we were able to do even just 5 years ago. But for the most part, the nature and the mindset of people, we're becoming more barbaric, even in our approach. It's just the way we treat one another in a lot of aspects. And the stuff that we watch on TV, you have to be careful what you take in, what you see, as well as what you even hear, what conversations you have. You have to be very, very careful what you allow into your spirit, because that stuff, it gets into, I think, we talked earlier even about your subconscious mind. That stuff, it gets into your subconscious mind, and even if you start to, you have those conversations long enough, you start to believe the lie.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like, you start to, and I think you did a show on this. You were talking about normalcy, like the abnormal, like, and the
abnormal is normal now.
Yeah.
And normal is abnormal.
Yeah. So that was like the perfect show. Like, so right becomes wrong and wrong becomes right and the norm becomes abnormal, and then people look at you like you're abnormal. I'm like, no, you're abnormal. I mean, it's you. It is not normal. A lot of this stuff is going on. It is not normal to what society says. So I think that, but nevertheless, the whole point of me bringing that in is because we're becoming more animalistic. Like,
yes.
Humans were never made to be, even sex, the way sex is a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
It was never designed to be treated like animals. Animals get together and they like bang it out. You know what I'm saying? Like animals do that. Sex is love making and you know what I mean? It's supposed to be special. That level of intimacy that you have with your partner.
Yes.
It's supposed to be like you know what I mean?
The
like
epitome.
the height of
It's a
real
gift.
love.
Yes.
It's really the two becoming one.
Yes.
You're like entangled. And now it's become this animalistic thing where you just meet somebody and you just bang it out. And it's just like, that's what animals do.
Yeah.
Like, you ever see a dog have sex with another dog? They just like,
exactly.
Animalistic.
They're doing aerobics.
People, yeah, that's not what it's about. And I was just thinking about that. I was like, wow, it's like people are becoming more and more barbaric, like more. I mean, as the time goes on, I think you and I even had this discussion, like how things have accelerated and how things have sped up.
Yes.
And like in the next few, I even want to say by the time like we're going to have a new president next year, this time we will have a new president. And that's what we were talking about. My friend and I, we were also talking about like the time, the way things are changing. And this year is a year of acceleration. Like whatever you need to do, whatever you need to get in order in your household with your family, make sure you get it right this year. And I'm not saying it to be like.
And this year means now, because we're already in the third month.
That's what I said. We're in the third month. You already have 9 months left. So I would just
sense of urgency.
Almost plead with people to just take these next 9 months very serious. Really, really, I don't know if you pray to Allah, Buddha, whoever your God is. I'm a Christian. I pray to God.
Yes.
I'm just saying, get your stuff in order, because next year this time, stuff is just going to be a lot of differences, a lot of changes. And I would just advise people, just make sure you keep your stuff tight. Don't go off course. Don't get distracted by a lot of this stuff that's going on, because really that's all it is a distraction to get you off course from things that really matter and things that's really important in your life. It's really it's a time to really put things in perspective and do what really matters in your life that has some longevity and some substance to it. All this other stuff, this surface stuff, this fluff stuff, that stuff is going to pass away. But these next 9 months is really, really crucial. Very, very important months to really get your house in order and make sure your stuff is like tight financially, spiritually, mentally, emotionally, your kids. Just make sure your stuff is tight, because I mean, the mere fact that we have Donald Trump running for president, I mean, that should be alarming.
Exactly.
That should be alarming to people. Like, that is not even like, I don't even know how to put that into words. Like, the mere fact that he's running and has a good chance to win is very scary to me. Like,
it's
I'm not saying I'm living my life in fear. I'm just saying we have this. Listen, this man has caused so much division. He's not even the president yet. Look at all the stuff. I mean, people go to his rallies. They getting put out of his rallies, getting punched in the face, people charging it. Listen, when President Obama was running for election and that stuff wasn't even happening when he was running for election.
Exactly.
Oh, my gosh. This man is like, people charging him. They have to cover him and get around. Now, we would have all thought that would have been the case with Barack Obama. But it wasn't. You know what I'm saying? If it was, they didn't make news. It didn't make headlines. They didn't tell us about it. At least I didn't see it. But for the most part, look at all the division he's causing with the Muslims and Hispanic community and Latino community and saying things about them and just all hooking up with I want to say Dukes of Hazzard, but David Dukes, and just doing all kind of his connections are evil in and of itself. So, I mean, Come on, people, get a clue. We got to
Shouldn't this be a
take
wake-up
this
call?
serious. Huh?
Shouldn't this be a wake-up call?
It is definitely a wake-up call.
But we have more distractions more than ever before, don't we?
Yes.
And we're into all of this other stuff that doesn't even matter. It's illusion.
Yep.
We bow our
TV
heads.
shows.
Yeah, we bow our heads to our smartphones as dumb people, more so than bowing our heads to God Himself, who gave us everything. Huh?
Yep. It's actually, I mean, stop following these celebrities and everything, taking what they say, like it's the gospel. Like, you can't, I mean, not for nothing, I don't really take a lot of what they say. Jada Pinkett, when she got up and said that mess about boycotting the Oscars, I'm like, she gonna go back to her $1 million house talking about boycotting the Oscars, whatever.
Right,
Have
right.
a seat, please. Sit down. Black people don't even watch the Oscars. But see, they do that stuff to get people all distracted. And then you got people talk, well, I'm going to boycott the Oscars, but you never was going to even watch it to begin with. It's a distraction.
Right.
You understand? Like, come on, people, wake up. Some people, Jada Pinkett, she do what they tell her to do.
That's right.
You understand? She bought and paid for. Come on, let's keep it 100,
Tell it.
all the way 100. She is bought and paid for a long time ago. They do whatever they're told to do to keep the masses distracted. They are up there in another place that you and I don't even know exists. You understand? The stuff that they're doing behind the scenes, we don't even know about. So let's just keep it 100. You don't know what them people got going on. You don't listen to them because they start talking about boycotting. Is she going to come stand beside you and boycott? She's going to sit right in her comfy living room and boycott it. Or if that's what she calls a boycott. But some of them same people she talking about boycotting write her paycheck. Her and her husband.
She just might be there next year or the year after getting an award.
Yeah, I don't take, please, Jada, have a seat, please. Jada, have a seat. Come on, you make all that money, your kids running around here with dresses on, and you telling other people what to do. Have a seat.
Yes.
Give me a break. It seems
Son want to be a girl and a girl want to be a boy.
Yeah,
how about
you pay attention to what's going on in your house first, and then start talking about boycotting some stupid Oscars that nobody don't pay any attention to. I don't watch the Oscars, never have, so I don't get the whole hype behind boycotting it. I don't care what nobody say. I just feel like it was another tactic to keep the masses distracted and to conjure up more racism because they want to have this race war. And if you don't think they're trying to get this race
big
war,
time.
If you don't think they're trying to get it popping, then you must be sleeping under a rock because they're really trying to get that thing stirred up in any way, shape, form, or fashion. They hyping that thing up. Every little piece of every celebrity they can use. And to me, it seems they're using more of the black people because black people, we're so emotional. We don't think intellectually a lot of times. So they just tell us any kind of lie, and we fall for the okie doke. And then we be out there marching, and they be somewhere in Hollywood sitting on the beach. Come on, people, get it together. Stop believing that. I'm not saying they don't care, but I don't really believe they care. You know what I'm saying? Because she's not going to come down. She don't know I exist. She don't know you exist. What does she care about the Oscars and how people really feel? How about you really why you didn't say nothing about Flint with the water? Why you not talking about issues that really matter, that's really affecting our communities? The Oscars ain't affecting us, whether they vote to pick a black movie or not a black movie. How's that going to help us? Guess what? The only person that benefits from winning an Oscar is the person who wins the Oscar. Period. That's not going to help us. That's not going to help Flint, Michigan have clean water. So why do I care about an Oscar? Guess what? Them people who get Oscars, all that do is supposedly make their salary go up and make them more marketable so that they can get more movie roles. And they say, oh, no, we just want to be acknowledged as all the work we do in Hollywood and black. Well, create your own Oscars if it means that much to you. Who cares? It's just a statue. Come on, let's just keep it real. If that's what it means to you, I mean, you're going to sit up there I'm like looking at her like, whatever, lady, please. You don't care nothing about black people. You don't care about our issues. I don't care how much she try to act like she cares. They bought and paid for her and her husband. Come on.
Especially him. You know,
I mean, kids running around here looking half crazy, and you talking about some Oscars, please. I don't want to hear that. I can't. I mean, and I just really wish black people would stop being emotional and stop responding to this stuff because a quote-unquote celebrity does it. Some people, they don't care. Like, they straight don't care. They don't. I'm sorry. You can say, oh, well, I met Jada Pinkett before. I've met Will Smith before, and guess what? They were both nice people. They were.
Right.
Jada was real chill. When I met her, she was chill. I met Will Smith at a party. I'm not saying that they're not nice people on a personal level. I'm just saying when it comes to political and social issues, we have to be much more careful and stop yielding our emotions to what they want to be hyped at the moment, because you don't know who they're like little puppeteers. They have to do what they're told. You understand? And they know Black people, we always respond to our quote unquote our people that we put on a pedestal. You say something about Oprah or somebody, don't even talk about Tyler Perry, because somebody Black, they'd be ready to kill you.
Oh, don't talk about Tyler Perry. Don't do that.
Please don't talk about him. I mean,
don't talk about T.D. Jakes or Oprah.
Idiots. I mean, he just make Black men look like, I mean, it's just, we got to do better. We got to do better in our judgments and in the way we look at things and judge it from an intellectual standpoint and not so much an emotional standpoint. Because when you judge by your emotions change. They shift from day to day. So you have to be able to think things through and not look at things from a surface level. You understand? You have to look at it beyond that. Like, really, what is this person after? What are they coming after? Why are you even on TV saying that? Like, what's the point? How is that affecting? How is that going to better our community? How is it going to better me? Ask questions. Don't just take their word for it just because they're saying that this is a problem. How many years has the Oscars not acknowledged Black people? And please don't bring up Halle Berry and what's his name, Denzel Washington winning an Oscar the same year, because basically to me, when they won those Oscars, they told her, yes, we like you playing a hoe and we like you playing a thug. So here's your Oscar.
There you
That's
go.
all y'all can do.
To reinforce that.
Come on.
That's right.
Yes, reinforce those images.
We can make it if we downgrade ourselves to that. Yeah,
that's all they did. Yes, play that thug. All the movies that Denzel Washington did. Malcolm X, you forgot you was looking at Denzel. You was like, wait a minute, I thought
exactly.
That. You understand?
Brilliant.
Why they didn't acknowledge him in that movie? Come on, what about when he was in Glory? What about when he was in that movie where his son was in the hospital? Man, and that was based on a true story.
Right.
Even when he played in Philadelphia. I mean, there's so many other movies that he could have won an Oscar for, but they said, nah, we're going to give it to you now, bro, because you played the thug. Here, that's what we think of y'all. Y'all all thugs. Here. Get out of here. I don't pay that Hollywood mess no attention. It's a hot mess. Don't believe the hype. As Public Enemy would say, don't believe the hype. Stop following after these celebrities until they get up and really make a stand and say something
and
that's
sacrifice,
going to make a significant change in our
right.
communities, where they're willing to sacrifice and die like our old leaders did. Let me tell you something. You really down for Black people? Understand this. You probably will have to sacrifice your life.
Yeah.
Let's just keep it all the way 100. Anybody who really stood up and said something for the Black, they ain't here no more. Okay? They ain't here. And you may say, because they might be old. But Martin Luther King could still be alive.
That's right.
To this day. He might be like in his 90s, but it hasn't been that long.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? So the truth of the matter, and not even our preachers. I mean, these was preachers that were standing up and saying, these preachers today, they're not going to die.
Oh, no. They're compromised. The politicians are paying them to keep the people quelled. Yeah.
They want to keep you coming to church and shouting and dancing all over your problems and go home to the same problem. Give me a break.
That's right. That's right.
Just
give you enough.
And get out of nothing.
Until the next Sunday.
And cater to your emotions. That's it. That's it. As long as we keep them emotional, guess what? We can control them.
That's right.
Start thinking with your intellect. Ask questions to yourself. You ain't got to ask them. Ask them. Why? First thing I do when I see that, I'm like, why are they doing that? and maybe I'm a little jaded, but
you have to think that.
I'd be looking sideways, like, okay, why is she even up there saying that? I sit back, I watch, see how it plays out. She said that. Guess what? She off the scene. Then they had Sharpton out there boycotting the Oscars. For what? I mean, like, how many people did he take with him? Like 5 people? Like, really, dude? Like, y'all really playing this up? Come on. People getting shot. Some guy was just shot, and I mean, come on. Let's just stop it. Let's show that we are more intelligent than that. and let's show that we can come together on causes that are
Yes.
really affecting our community. I really feel like people pitched in with this whole Flint, Michigan thing, and people really came together. I mean, people were sending water from like all over, and that was a beautiful thing
Yes.
to see. That was really, really awesome. And now they're investing all this money into that community to get the water cleaned up. So that's actually a good thing. Something good did actually come out of that. I mean, it shouldn't have had to take for people to get sick or lose their lives for it to get to that point. But nevertheless,
That's right.
change is underway. So I guess we should be grateful for that. But I don't know. Please, people, let's not follow these. If you like their movies and you support their movies, let it be that you like them for entertainment purposes.
Exactly.
But never do we. You don't. You know what? Too, I have to say, like, Ossie Davis and his wife, they were activists back in the day. Like those, and during like that time in the 50s, those celebrities, they were getting arrested.
Yes, and they used the power of their celebrity to make change. And this is why they killed Michael Jackson, because nobody could have denied his popularity. His reach went from all ages, all over the world. And when he started talking like he started to talk, even more so, he became a threat, because the celebrity that they give you, you better use it for their purposes. You can't take the celebrity that now I can't say they gave it to him. He's a talented individual, but guess what? If they didn't want him out there like that, no matter how hard he worked and how talented that he is, they're not going to allow that. See? So when you get up into that level, that mega level that way, and you don't pop Dixie the way that they want you to do and jump through the hoops and tap dance the way that they want you to do, they will snuff you. See? And he was just too powerful, because who could deny his word? So they had to kill him. So most of these celebrities know, I can walk this way, but I can't walk that way. And they will allow me to say something sort of controversial, but it's only a situation where we're playing good cop, bad cop, because those are those in-house agents that are allowed to do that. And look, we're the only people who go to celebrities to depend on them to see what they're going to speak on a social level. What about our thinkers? What about what about the preachers? They become clowns too. Compromised clowns.
Yep. Oh yeah, they sell out. They listen. There's some things I can't even say, and I'm not going to say because I don't want them coming knocking on my door. But
well, you can tell me off the recording, and I'll say it because I'm waiting for them.
I just honestly, it's like I just want people to, especially Christians, like just like, can you get a clue? Like, do you not know that this is all staged? It's not. I'm not saying this whole life thing, but I'm just saying a lot of this stuff. A lot of these preachers ain't really preachers. Like, they serving a whole nother entity.
Exactly.
You understand? They're making money. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I'm glad you're saying it.
Oh my goodness. It's just like, I really need y'all to get it. I really need y'all to like wake up. And my friend today that I was talking to, she's a minister, and we would talk. I said, listen, stop getting caught up in all these politics. They already know who's going to be president.
Right.
Like, I do believe, yes, we should pray. I do believe that we have a certain responsibility when it comes to certain instances in society, right? Like, you don't just keep your mouth closed. But at the same time, don't put all your energy into saying, I am going to become a Democrat or a Republican.
I know.
Because understand that when they get behind closed doors, they slap in five, they play golf together, they hang out together. Of course. They don't care about none of that stuff. They already know what they have to do when they get out there and they quote unquote do their debates, etc. She's like, oh, you're not following it. You don't know why. It's a waste of energy.
It's like watching wrestling.
You know what I'm saying? Like, why would I want to watch that? It's
choreographed chaos.
Real. Man, listen. So, and she's a minister, but I'm like, come on, it's about time that we start waking up and really understand what's happening out here in this world. Those presidents are figureheads, and they're selected. I always say presidents are not elected; they're selected, and they are selected before you even go to the polls. the polls. I've been traveling polls. Polls, before you get to the polls, they already know who's going to be president. Like, wake up. Like, really, truly. You know, they know who they got to put in there to do what they need to get done for a certain amount of time.
That's right.
They get them in there, those persons do what they got to do, and then they bounce. They on to the next thing. They write a book and do whatever else they do. You know, but, you know, they're going to have their new world order. That's going to happen. So I don't know what people
no
thinking.
doubt.
Like, it's going to happen. Like,
you know what?
Eventually.
It's wrapped around us already, and it's in us. We're breathing it. We're seeing it. It's wrapped around us. They just haven't put the choke on us yet. But we've bought into it so much. And
yep.
It's already written. And I hate to say that, well, it's for many it's too late. For many it's too late. Save yourself, save and influence who you can. Scream out and shout to the world, but understand that everybody's not going to want to let go. Everybody can, but everybody won't. Everybody won't.
Wow.
You know.
And for what? For money? I mean, what are they holding on to? Money, this life?
The illusion
that you're really not even in control of. They're controlling you. They tell you where you can work and what kind of job you can have.
Well, most don't know life. Most don't know life. They don't know real life and receiving God's gifts. Like I said, I say it again, and I say it daggone near every broadcast, that, you know, man has put himself between man and God. You know, this particular wicked man has put himself between. He's made himself the middleman. So we pray to him with his money. We pray to him,
right?
Thinking we need to come up with this money that he can adjust the value of to buy this land that God already gave to us. See?
Right.
The food that God already gave to us. What happened to the vast acreage of land, miles and miles of land with mangoes and watermelons and vegetables growing and stuff, more than we can eat? That's there already.
Right.
The system was made, God's system in this world was made that we can eat in abundance. We can take the wood and build structure, make concrete and build structures and love each other and look out for each other. If I'm a plumber and you're an electrician, I'll do your plumbing, you do my electric. If you're a doctor, you look out for me. If I'm doing nothing and I'm an older person, I'll look at the kids and teach them wisdom. That's God's system. We don't need money.
Right.
We need each other. See?
Yep.
But see, somebody came and made a false substitute system and created that. And we went for that. The false value. We don't need that. We just need to submit to righteous law and the laws of this world, the real world. What happened to knowing about farming? We crossing our fingers hoping a supermarket comes in our neighborhood. We need to know how to farm. We're stacked up on top of each other in these artificial living conditions. Not enough land to feed the people, so the food has to be trucked in. So something jumps off and there's no food. What happened if we would go to the supermarket and there's no food? And all of these people. You'd have money in the street all over the place. They'd step over the money and shoot you for a hamburger.
Yep. Yep.
And we don't know how close we are to that.
I was getting ready to say it's going to happen, too.
Exactly. We're so dumbed down, we don't even memorize phone numbers anymore. We got to go. We got to go to Facebook to tell everybody, you know, I lost my phone, y'all, so hit me up. Send me your number.
Yep.
I remember as a kid, I would know all the numbers and dial it. I was my smartphone, but my smarts have been removed. I'm not saying mine, but the smarts have been removed from the people, and it's a smartphone and a dumb user. The phone used to be dumb. It was a rotary phone, and at best, a touch tone. Didn't do nothing else, a dumb phone. We were smart people. We didn't need the piece of paper, only the older folks sometimes.
Right.
But the older folks these days are smarter than the younger ones. They don't use.
So they actually still use their brain.
Exactly. They memorize a number.
When you think about it, if your brain is a muscle, and it's just like any other muscle. If you don't use it, you know what I mean? Like it just
exactly
it's kind of sitting there. It's not growing. You're not expanding. You know, you have to work your brain. You have to do exercises, math exercises, do Sudoku or whatever it's called. And that helps to expand your brain, and it makes you think. If you're not using your brain, that's why reading and even meditation is so important. Read an actual paper book. Like I have Kindle, but you know, half the time I forget the books that I have on Kindle. Sometimes I just like a paper book to read, when
To
you
hold the
read, it
book and
helps you to
right,
think.
right,
You
right.
think I just feel like this younger generation, they don't think. They don't process stuff like, because they don't have to use their brain as much as we did. You know what I mean? Like, it's almost everything is done for them. I don't know if that makes sense, but
No,
I
it
just find
it
that
makes sense. It makes
if
sense.
you're not using your brain, like, I mean, when I say brain, I mean if you're not reading and like, I'm still in school, and I'm kind of glad I'm still in school because it helps me to think
Yes.
and process things a little bit better, or to keep, more so than anything. Let me take that back. It helps to keep me sharp,
Well,
because then I'm not
let me just
being
interject that
lazy.
I applaud you for that. And even if you weren't in the physical schoolhouse, we should all be in the process of being schooled in some area of expertise, whether it's in the school or we're teaching ourselves and learning things ourselves. We should always be looking to learn the world, the things in it, and conquer it on a righteous level and be better because of that.
And getting to know yourself.
Exactly. And
Oh
how
my
you fit into the
God.
world.
If you meditate, I would advise everyone, take 15 minutes, just meditate, just sit quietly. You will see things prophetically before they even happen. Like, you will get inspiration to show you what somebody's even thinking. I'm telling you. I don't know if you meditate, but
Oh yes, I
it
do.
makes a difference.
I
So you
couldn't
can
get as
attest
much
to
done
that.
if I didn't. I wouldn't get as much done.
Yeah, I mean, meditation is taking that moment to just quiet your spirit and just slow down and just take a few minutes to just to clear your brain, not to empty. I mean, there's different forms of meditation. You don't empty your brain, because, your mind. When I say brain, because your brain is different from your mind. I
Right.
realize that. For those of you that saying, oh, it's not the same, I understand. Your brain is one thing and your mind is something totally different. So I get that. What I'm saying is, you don't empty your mind out, but you do need to calm your mind in such a way that you can process things with a lot more clarity, especially when you need direction in your life and you need to understand which way to go and when you need to make major decisions. You definitely should meditate. You definitely need to take a few minutes every day and pull back and just get some clarity on which direction to go. I guarantee you will get better direction. You'll get much more guidance and understanding of what you need to do. It's so important. And I think if more people do that, we have a better functioning world.
That's right. That's
I
right.
we can definitely relate to one another, and we would definitely be more harmonious.
Mm-hmm.
Everything is just done on a whim and done so quickly and not without much thought. And I have those
not much
days
consideration
when I'm
as to the
off.
effect on the whole.
Yeah. And you know what? And I don't want to say this like I have arrived, because I haven't, because there's days when I'm off too. But the good part is I know when I'm off. You know what I mean? Like, I know, like, okay, I'm off and I missed my meditation and I didn't do this morning. And because you kind of can set the tone for your day depending on how you start your morning. You know what I mean?
Yes.
You can go into work and somebody have a bad attitude. You don't respond to that because you're in control of how you react.
There you go.
Not allowing that person, because they may be having a moment or whatever. And so then they got an attitude. Now you got an attitude. No. Let them have a moment and just keep it moving. It's just better to have that type of outlook and not think in such a way that person is coming at you. You just don't know what anybody's going through.
That's right.
So sometimes we take it personal, and it's not even personal. It's people just going through stuff.
Well, I tell you, most of my work day, I'm aware of everything that I have to do, and I'm aware of what's around me. But I have to say, I stay plugged in to that state of meditation from when I leave the house until when I'm out, and I try to keep and hold
That's
on to
awesome.
it all day long. I look at it this way. It never stops. Sometimes it gets reduced and sometimes it grows. I look at it like the picture-in-picture feature on a television screen where you're watching the main program, but you have a small image in the corner, lower hand corner, square image. You can still view what's going on in that other channel. That's my meditation.
Wow, that's cool. I like that concept.
So now, as the stresses, and I really don't get stressed. I know how to shift what comes at me and deflect it. Now, sometimes I catch a bullet. It's almost like in the Matrix where you saw Neo leaning back from the bullets and most of them passed him by and that one might get in, a little blood comes out. Well, sometimes one will get me,
right.
you know,
Yeah.
but other than that, there's always that picture-in-picture thing going on. So when left alone, when the levels of what comes at me goes down, that smaller screen of meditation, it grows. And sometimes it overlaps and eclipses what goes on in my day. And sometimes what goes on in my day as far as the task of what I have to do in my job and dealing with people, that's the thing that gets reduced. See? And the bigger screen, and I'm walking in meditation with madness around me going on.
Wow.
See?
That's powerful.
Oh, yes. And so when I'm in
Very
that place,
powerful.
I'm gone. I'm there enough to hit the brakes if a cat runs in front of my bus or somebody runs out from behind a tree to stop or ask me a question.
You're much more alert, right?
Oh, I'm high. I am high. I am high because I'm doing my task of what I need to do when I come home before I get home. I'm writing articles. I'm editing things. I'm tweaking typos and things in my website while I'm driving. And that stuff is not even in front of me physically. See?
Wow.
So when I come home, I already know what to do. So people say, how can you do? I can do this every day because my mind is there. I dream of it. I focus on it. And it's not just the online entity, but just life in general. Having your responses.
But you actually enjoy people. I just feel like you just enjoy people. Period.
Yes, I do. Yes, I do. But I'm also very guarded around some entities until I know their energy. So I enjoy people, but I also keep my guard up and I don't give myself to everybody, meaning that sounded kind of whorish, but no, that I didn't mean it that way. But I don't give my energy to everybody unless they're worthy. And I'm not thinking I'm all that, but look, we have so much energy in a day. It's like me giving you $1,000 and saying, well, live on that for the next 2 weeks. That may not be enough. That may be too much, but it's up to you to adjust and assess what that means to you for the next 2 weeks. So we have but so much energy every day. So what we don't understand is that when we walk out of that door, hopefully home is peaceful. For many of us, home is not peaceful. We're walking out at 50%. We're walking out with a charge on our spiritual cell phones at 35. So you better cut that bad boy off unless you need it. But if we can leave the house at 100%, understand that there are going to be forces coming at you that the one time that person flipped the finger at you and cut you off on the road, that may take 2% off. Now you're 98. Now you have the phone call of the bill you forgot to pay, and you're saying, oh, man, my credit, I got the money, but that may take 5 off, depending on who you are. So now you're at 93. See? So the boss says he wants to talk to you, and he didn't look too good in his face. That takes off 15. See what I mean?
Wow.
So
now you're being depleted.
Yes. So now you're at 70, 77, 78, 78. And by the end of the day, so many of us are at 3%. We're in the red, 2%. I try to come home, and my goal is to come back 110%. And I have to tell you, most days, since I've mastered this, I come back, if I leave 100, I'll come back home at 125.
That's awesome.
I'll come back home at 150.
That's powerful.
I'll come back home at 250 because I budget and I know how precious my energy is. And see, when I keep myself in that state of meditation, it's like I'm walking down the street, but my cell phone is still plugged into the charger that's plugged into the wall. So as you might deplete me for the time. You might take 5%, but zoop, it comes right back. You're arguing with me and or trying to argue at me, and I'm still at 100%. And some of these depleted people can see that, right? They can see that and realize I'm not draining him. Because when you're not drained, you become a target like that night light in the backyard, and all the bugs and the moths fly around it. If you cut the light off, the trick is if you want to go out in the backyard at night in the dark and not get bit up or have bugs come at you, 15 minutes before you go out there, cut the light off. So one of my tactics also is that I'm not always going to glow. I may portray myself to be on their energy level so they don't come after me. See? You got to protect yourself like that player who has a football.
That's so good. I
See?
like that.
I mean, that's just my personal way of doing things, you know? And
well, it's working. It must be effective.
yeah, it is. It is. In trial and error, you just have to know yourself. And like you said, you have to know yourself through meditation. And people think that you have to assume some position and do. If that's what works for you, fine. Whatever way you worship is fine. But understand there's a higher power, and we have to plug into that power so we can have the power. How you going to have power when you're not plugged into the power?
You're right.
You can front with the false power and say, look at this. I got money. But that's just paper. Because if you can't go home and deal and share wisdom with your family and glow and radiate real power, we'll see more people who look like they have all the money in the world, the cars, the homes, the nice home life, but they go up somewhere in a room and put a bullet in their head. And we're looking like, well, we thought they had it all.
Gosh,
where maybe they didn't. Now, some people have money and have the things and still have the power. Understood. Some people don't and don't have it. But wherever you find yourself in life, if you look at life this way, you'll be okay. We'll get stressed. We'll get drained. Sometimes we're not plugged in.
Right.
See? And we got to know when we're not. Listen, I'm not plugged in right now. I need to not be around these other people who are trying to get on my nerves. I need to cut off and save my charge so that I can use it. Look, if you don't have a signal, why are you going to all of a sudden want to keep yourself turned on? I'm not getting a signal from these low-minded people. I'm cutting off. So when I'm on the bus and I'm around people who are low-minded on a lower frequency, I'm not going to keep my spiritual cell phone on and drain it down with that kind of conversation, because I get those my phone rings with people who got nothing on their mind. Hey, SCURV, man, I know you get all the BITCH, man. I know you getting it, man.
That's funny.
And I'll still be editing. I'll let them talk for 3 or 4 minutes, and I'll pick up my other phone and dial my number and start talking, and they'll hear the pause in my voice. Oh, listen, bro, man, it was good talking to you. Check this out. I got to take this call, man. Oh, yeah, man, good. Man, SCURV's a good guy, man. He understand how it is. And I didn't mar myself by going into an exchange, but I did a Floyd Mayweather on him and dodged the toxicity of the blows he was throwing my way in the form of a conversation.
Right.
You can be around folks, but you don't have to be doing what they do. But I do know their language, though. I'm not going to sit here and try to change them unless they want to come and vibe with me and average up maybe to the state of mind that I'm in, because there's people that I average up to that are walking higher than me. See?
Right.
So they may come at me. Hey, man, look at that girl. Man, look at that backside. Ain't that something, SCURV? Yeah, man, it's something. But come here, let me tell you something, man. What? Check this out, man. You ever see how they got so much bad food selling on the Yeah, you're right, man, you're right. Now, see, if I rejected a man, that's not proper. You shouldn't look at our sisters that way. No, and it's right. I should emanate that. I should show that. But if I show him that I tolerated that and rolled with it, when a punch is thrown at you, you roll with it. You don't stand there with your chin and resist it and catch all of the force. You move back away from it and minimize it on you, the effect. And then you come back with your own. We've got to learn how to exchange with each other. A lot of folks in these churches, unless you come on to the Little Mount Baptist Rock Church here, so I can't talk to you. But that brother's in your community. That's the brother who might be selling drugs now or strung out on drugs now, but he might walk you home and save you from that mugger who's going to come get you. We're all connected. We can't get away from it.
Right. I
don't know where that came from. I just kind of went off on a rant. But sister,
somebody needed to hear that.
But this what I'm going to do. This is what I'm going to do. I got to make a run, keeping it real. No, but I like your conversation, and I know people are going to love it. And we're not talking about 2 weeks from now, but maybe later or two.
So I feel like I was just going on a rant.
No. You on point. And the people who are listening to this, I want them to leave their comments and vibe with Sister Summer, of which I know your real name, that I will delete and edit out or put a beep in there.
Yes, my name out in there.
I didn't forget that.
Florida.
I marked off the time when it was, and I'm going to edit this later on. And I got to make a run out, because if not, this would have been one of them 6-hour jammies that I love to do, And
Okay.
tomorrow I'll
Will
be.
you let me know how it, what the response is if they hate me? I know.
Oh no, you'll see it. No. They ain't gonna hate you. They ain't gonna hate you. I'm not gonna tolerate that. Look, if they hate you, they hate me. They're gonna love you. They're gonna love what you had to say. And this is why. And I'll say this before we go. I'm gonna let you have the final words before I wrap up, because people know me already. So I'm not trying to hog the time. But this is why, like we spoke about other individuals who we'll have on the show, that we all speak slightly different. The packaging we come in, the experiences that we have. See, I heard the Jamaica Queens coming out of you, because that's my root.
Oh, you did? That's so funny.
Of course. Even though, I was more toward the Richmond Hillside on the other side of the Van Wyck Expressway, I consider myself a person from Jamaica, Queens, because that's where I stood and stayed all the time. All my friends are. But we all come in a different packaging, and we reach people different ways. So,
right, that's very true.
And see, because of our pack, look, the bottom line is, and again, I'll use a Golden Corral analogy, that and I don't eat a Golden Corral. I'm not saying I'm better than nobody, but I try to put good food in my body.
Yeah, I don't eat Golden Corral.
Oh, then you understand.
I was just like, so gross.
Exactly. But I use that analogy because so many people still do that. When we when they go to Golden Corral, some people say, well, I'm going to go in there and eat the chicken. I don't like that chicken. It's nasty. I'm getting the macaroni and cheese. Oh, I'm going to go in there and get me some pork and fried up some pork. Man, that stuff good. Well, check this out. At the end of the day, aside from the toxic things that are in it, I'm not condoning eating that food, but each person's body breaks it down to what they need, and it comes down to protein, carbohydrates, essential fats, vitamins, minerals, trace minerals, and water. And once it gets to that point, it doesn't matter which way you came to get that nutrition, as long as you got the nutrition. I'm not calling that stuff nutrition, because it's not. But I'm comparing that on a spiritual level and on a communication level, that one person, you may speak in a way with a certain twang to your voice that appeals to folks from Jamaica, Queens, and beyond. It's not just relegated to that. But the person in the street may lace their words with words that we might not want to say when we're in church, okay, in front of the pulpit. Right. But they have a way of reaching others that maybe we can't reach as effectively, because those other people might identify with the way that person spoke. So that's the only reason why I love to have everybody talk. I'll go on the street corner with the crackhead. I'll speak to the pastor if he's not mad at me for talking about pastors, Big shout out to Pastor Damon Richardson. But anyway, yeah, all in between. I've had angry white men on the show that I say, okay, listen, really? I'm gonna let you speak your mind, and as long as we, keep it, but I want to know. And I think dialogue is very important. And people have come to me, why you have that man on the show? So they already have their own. No, but you need to hear it from the horse's mouth from a common man on that side of the tracks.
Right.
I've had Akbar Muhammad from the Nation of Islam. I've had Black Panthers on. I've had people from 12 tribes, Hebrew Israel, all kind of persuasions, and some who are of certain persuasions that couldn't say it publicly. See? But they flavor it in a way where others are like, man, I know that brother is down with this, and I appreciate you allowing him to speak on your platform, which I don't own YouTube or anything like that, but the time put in, the elbow grease.
Right. You have a nice following, though.
And I love them all. I love them all.
Yeah,
and
good.
I'm growing with them. So it's not about just numbers, but one thing I know for sure, that people see the body of work that's put in. And that's all I'm concerned with having people have a wonderful listening experience that they can learn from others and speak in their mind. Because CNN, they're not going to sit here and just do this like this. They'll do some things that are glossy, but consistently, and anybody can call me, 407-924-8793. Text me, call me, say, hey, I want to talk about this. And whichever way they want to play it, I'll say it. You don't want your name out there. You want your name out there. You want to say where you are. You want to say this. I'll respect that, because trust me, if I didn't have that kind of reputation, folks wouldn't call me. You know why? Because, look, if I revealed half the stuff I knew.
But you know what? It just goes back to the point that I made about you earlier. I first of all, you're open, which is good. Second of all, you have this demeanor or this temperament about yourself that people don't feel like they can't talk to you. You look like the type of person I can tell you something and you'll take it to your grave. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Like, okay, SCURV, don't tell anybody this. And you just seem trustworthy. You know what I mean? And that's not something people see every day. So people will gravitate more to you, and, you know, not just through your show, but even as you go and work when you're driving the bus. So you get it from both sides, which I think that's so great, because people need an outlet. You know what I mean? People have
Yes.
things they want to say and they want to share. And yeah, I could easily get up on YouTube and do my own thing, but that's not something I want to do. You know, why not come to somebody like you who's offering people the opportunity to share and be open and honest, and you're not judging people one way or the other. Because
No.
I feel like your whole premise is that you want to help people.
Yes.
That's the vibe I get from you. I don't feel
Yes.
like you have an agenda other than
No,
the fact
no.
that you're really sincerely trying to help people and make people aware. And I mean, who can argue with that?
Right. And I will
really
speak my
can't.
mind when people want me to want to hear my feeling on this or that. I'll speak my mind, but
Sure.
I'll talk to everybody, and I'm not going to judge you, because look, you know, you walk into a kitchen and it's a 5-star chef and it's a wonderful meal he's cooking that takes 2 hours, and you pull it out after 15 minutes. You say, "Ooh, what's that? He ain't no 5-star chef." Yeah, but that's where he is with the meal at that particular point. Come back in 2 hours, you'll see. So we're all in different levels of development in our personal walk. What you are now is not what you're going to be 5 years from now, or even 5 weeks from now, maybe even 5 days from now. So who am I to judge God's work that way? Everybody develops at different points. So it's wonderful to pick up on the energy of the people at the different points they're in. And they come back and do another conversation and say, "Man, I grew since then. This is what I've grown." And that's why I'm not going to take anything down. I've said things in the past that I said, you know what, I wouldn't say that right now. Or I see it different right now.
Yeah.
So this is why I tell people who come at me, "Hey, man, SCURV, I heard that wonderful show you did, but I heard something else, man. You was out there in the street corner cussing with somebody." I said, "Do you understand the context in which I was doing? And at the time and whatever. Oh, okay. I'm not somebody's pastor. I'm a real dude. So I talk to real people. You know?"
Yep,
And
I get it. That's funny.
Yes.
I was just saying that today about someone. They was talking about somebody's past, and I said, you don't know the state of mind that person was in at the time they did what they did when they said what they said. So I'm not saying you give people a pass. I'm just saying we have to be more considerate and try to understand, because, you know, we're all growing, we're all evolving, and we're constantly changing. At least I hope some of us are. But so you just have to be careful and be respectful of people and not be so quick to judge. You know what I mean?
That's right.
The way I see it.
That's right.
I could be wrong, but you know.
No, you're not wrong at all. I just want to know, ASAP, when can we do this again? Because you're phenomenal, and what you had to share was just a small snippet of what I know is a vast amount more of what you have to share, and more people need to hear this the way you said it, because like I said, you said it in ways that I can't say it, or I'm not equipped to say it. Fine. I mean, I'm trying to squeeze something else in before the weekend's over, and definitely next weekend.
Oh, yeah. So if you want to do something then, because I'm not sure how often you do your shows.
Oh, no.
Then,
I record every day. And the reason why I haven't been doing the live shows is because, like, one of the computers is down, and it's a very complicated computer. And my computer guy is, like, you know, pulling his hair out a little bit. But, you know, and it gives me a break from the live shows. But I recorded something before we spoke. We recorded this. After I run out, I'm going to be out for a couple of hours. When I come back, I'm probably going to record 2 or 3 more segments with whoever. And if you are up, you know, that's how I do it. And I'll edit it up and put it up for the people to enjoy. So, you know,
So when do you play this one that we were discussing today? When does that get played?
Okay, this is what I'm going to do. When I come in later, I'm going to design a nice graphic for it and give it a nice title and, you know, get that ready.
Your graphics crack me up.
Oh, yeah, I do some ones that really make people, you know.
It's eye-catching.
That's the point. You know what I mean? I got to have the rapping right, but it's got to also be something of substance. And some people, they'll gravitate towards certain things more or less, but I'll do that. And then what I do, I take the audio, and like we know we have to edit out somebody's particular name. whatever's needed, but I never edit out anything other than something like that. I keep it where from the beginning to end, whether it's 15 minutes, 2 hours, 6 hours, I've done 7-hour shows, conversations, multiple people, just one, it doesn't matter, live, whatever.
So when do people call in?
Okay, well, that's when I have the live shows set up. And I can do the live audio now, but the other live shows I was doing where you can see me and hear the callers as they call in, I can still do a live audio where people call in. I can do that now. That computer has not affected that part of my system. So, if you had a topic, even before you go away for that week, I'm thinking about doing something live, maybe tomorrow, maybe later on. At nighttime, people love it on the weekend. They say, hey, man, I'll call up a few people. Hey, you want to chop it up live? Yeah, let's do that. Okay, call this number. Here's the PIN number. And then people pop in. Or I'll go on social media like, yo, listen up. If you don't want to get in on this, call this number and they'll come.
That's funny. And people respond?
Yeah. People will call them from all over the world. It's funny.
Are you serious?
Then it's recorded and then it's put up. Yeah.
So let me just ask you another question.
Sure.
Like, what countries have you had people respond to you?
Okay, put it this way.
Countries?
Put it this way. What countries haven't?
Are you serious?
Yes.
That's
Down through the years,
cool.
what countries haven't? And
Wow.
for those who are in many different time zones also, you're sitting here talking like, I'm getting ready to go to work. And I'm like, I just got in from work. It's morning over here. And I'm like, wow, I'm about to eat dinner while I'm doing this.
Oh, wow.
And after the fact,
is that?
the personal emails and direct calls, we're not. Switzerland, Australia, Asia.
You get people from Asia?
I had a lady the other day, a couple months ago. She had a tragic story. She was violated in the worst way by several doctors who were checking her up for an eventual appendix operation, which they didn't violate her before, they did it after. And she was in Egypt and found me. She said, I've been listening to you and I know you can help me. And she was so conscious of her English, but her English was very good. So she did half of the show in English and the other half in Arabic.
Oh, wow.
And she wanted help from some different human rights organizations. And she was reaching out, and she eventually did. She was a political activist and very outspoken, and her name was put out there. She was blackballed and targeted. So when she came in for that, it was like, we're going to violate her. To make a long story short, she had to leave and go to Lebanon to get a proper assessment on what had happened to her. And she said it, so I'm not repeating something I shouldn't say, but she was sodomized, raped by at least 5 or 6 different men anally, and the other way, while she was out, while she was put out.
Wow.
Yeah. So
what country? This was in Egypt, Japan or something?
Oh, Egypt.
Egypt.
Yeah, and she named the hospital, named everything. She just spilled it all, named names, and hey, like I said, if you want to put it out there like that, we'll do it.
Oh, wow. Well, it probably was best that she did do that to make people aware.
Yeah.
Egypt. That's interesting. I worked with some people that were from Egypt, and you couldn't tell them nothing was wrong with their country.
Britain all the time. I've spoken to people from Russia. There's certain people I've spoken to that they're like, oh no, they'll know my voice, or this is circulating around, even way out there. I'm over here, but the internet is everywhere. So they would, and some people have called me and just told me things like, Lance, I just want you to know this. Please don't record this.
What do you do? How do you respond to that?
I listen, and they'll tell me if this jumps off and whatever, talk about it then. Name these names. Crazy responsibility. Check this out. For a middle-aged dude who's about to turn 53, who's a bus driver in Orlando, Florida, a transplanted New Yorker. I'm a blue-collar guy, and it's amazing how this has leveraged my life to reach so many people. And yes, you can walk down the street naked and take a video and it'll go viral. I'm talking about affecting people, really affecting them.
Right.
It warms me over. It's not an attention thing. I'm not trying to be famous. I'm sitting here right now, t-shirt, shorts, feet out, smelling kind of musty.
But do you feel like your life is is just like what you're doing, you're helping so many people. I don't know if you realize that or not, but I would feel like what you're doing is purposeful. Like, you don't want to feel like you're just living life just for the sake of living life, but you have purpose and you're making a difference in people's lives.
It's given me that. There was a time when I thought, I was like, I'm getting older. What am I doing? And many times in my life, I felt were like, and I've said it before, like rags that had no connection, like various jobs or experiences and relationships and the few victories and lots of failures. And I was like, what am I looking at when I look back at my, there was no trajectory. But then I understand that I went through all these different experiences because with this, I can sew all of those unrelated rags to make a beautiful quilt that other people can use to keep warm with. You see what I mean?
Wow.
So,
yeah. That's awesome.
So now when I could draw from, like you have a painter who has a palette, and on the palette is yellow and green and blue and red, purple, and he can take from those colors and make a beautiful picture. Well, all of those weird experiences for me and different experiences and things that didn't look like it added up to anything compared to the person, well, I went to school at this year and then I got married that year and it's been one smooth thing, which nobody's life is smooth, but I look back and I have all of these different things that when somebody comes to me like, yo, Lance, man, this is what I'm going through. And I look at my little container of unrelated scraps of cloth and I say, hey, I got a color that matches that. Let me tell you about the time in my life where if I didn't go through it, I talked to somebody or observed it and it helps them or cheers them up or whatever. So it's wonderful. It's a wonderful. I love this. This has added years on to my life. I know that. This is why at my age, there's very few high school graduates that have as much enthusiasm for life like I do right now.
Wow.
I love this. Look, it's not even a competition. It's not even compete with, or I'm trying to get more hits than this one or more subscribers. I have to wrap this in a good-looking package with graphics and things. I know that. That's the business end of it. But the joy of the process for me, that's what it is. Living this and
I mean, don't you feel like too, aside from how, you get a sense of gratification, don't you feel like you're helping people for the most part?
Big time.
You're changing people's lives, like
in such an intimate way.
Priceless. Yeah.
Yeah. It's not like I'm some dude on a pulpit. Hey, so and so. You're talking to these people. You have their phone numbers. They call their kids and say hi to Mr. Lance. There's situations going on.
Level. I feel like you're like in the. I feel like you're the type of person like you're in the ditches with.
Yes.
Us people, us. Like I can put myself in that category. Like you're out here with us.
Yes, indeed.
You know what I mean?
Yes,
and
indeed.
I don't feel like you have this vibe about you like it's me against them or it's, you know what I mean? Like you don't come off like you have a lot of wisdom. I don't even know if you see yourself in that light, but you have a lot of wisdom, but you have a lot of love because you're giving back. You know what I mean? It takes a lot to do what you're doing. It takes time and you're passionate about it and you can't, there's people out there, like you can't really, and I'm not like picking on this guy because
I understand.
I don't really care for his platform. I don't care for what he stands for, and that's Tommy Sotomayor. But how can you take, for people that follow him, how do you take somebody like that serious when he's constantly hurting people? You understand? Like, you're not helping. You're hurting more than you're helping. And that's what you can have your opinion and you can have your views about certain things, but when you're tearing down, he's doing as much harm as he's doing more harm than he is good. And I don't care what anybody says. You can never benefit from putting down any group of people or person.
This is what happens when one may have an agenda, whether it's their agenda or an agenda of the people behind them who are making sure that they're well paid and well off to push certain things, because many people, and it's not like one celebrity or one YouTube celebrity, or they're all brush strokes to paint a different picture, a overall picture. So you may not understand their particular brush stroke, but when you step back from the picture, and I say it again, it's like a beautiful picture. If you have a favorite picture of yours and you put it on the wall and you put your nose on the picture and stand in front of it, you can't see its beauty or its ugliness. But if you take a step back and look how all the collective brushstrokes added up into that beautiful picture and hit your brain a certain way, you understand what each brushstroke added to the overall final product. So these actors and celebrities and different entities out here, they're just individual brushstrokes. And that's
but what I was going to, I'm sorry, I wasn't clear in making my point. What I was going to say is, yes, he has his platform and he does what he does. But I'm saying it's almost like Stacey Dash. Yeah. You know, she gets up there and she says X, Y, and Z, and she's entitled to her opinion. And I don't have a problem with you I don't have a problem with you having your opinion, but you should at least believe that what you're doing and really believe what you're saying and that it has purpose.
Exactly.
Don't do it for a paycheck. You understand what I'm saying? Because that's how I see it. I mean, you're just up there, you're getting paid.
That's right.
Basically. And that's kind of how I see Tommy Sotomayor. It would be different if he had a platform and he was really doing it. This is what I really believe. I just believe this, and that. But you don't really believe your own press. You're just getting a paycheck.
Right.
And corrupting in people's minds with your lies.
Well, that's a waste of life force. That's that you know, the Creator gave you this life. It's like having a position on a football team. Everybody may not get the ball to make the touchdown, but you're crucial in getting that next player into that position. So we're crucial in getting the different members of the human family in positions to win, which when they win, we all win because we're all here. But many of us don't realize that, you see. So, you know, if that's the stage of development that certain individuals are in, more power to them. They'll wake up, hopefully. If not, they're in for a sad, rude awakening, because if you live 80 years, 120 years, or even 1,000 years, we're just passing through. 1,000 years doesn't even compete with eternity.
Right.
This is just a trip. Let me tell you something. This life is just a trip to the bathroom in eternity.
Yes. It's so funny you say that. We were just talking about that the other day, that eternity, like how do you compare this time on earth to there is no comparison. Right. There is no comparison. I just don't even understand. And let me tell you, when you put that type of energy into the atmosphere, it's coming back.
Yeah.
Trust me, it's coming back. You're going to pay for that one way or another.
You ain't lying.
Whether if it falls on your children, it's going to happen. Because there's no way you can I can't sit here. You know, when I say what I'm saying, and I just hope that you can put this in, like, at the ending. When I'm saying these things, it's not a put down. It's because I really care.
That's right.
And I just hate to see so many young girls and it's not that the men are all innocent either. But speaking as a woman, that don't sell yourself short. You know what I mean? Like, you don't have to. It's just so much. You have so much more to offer, and not only that, life has so much more to offer you if you just don't sell yourself short. You know, when we were coming along, when I was coming along, and I'm sure you can speak to this. If a woman slept around with a man, you was considered a hoe.
That's
like that was not something that you wanted to be called. You just did not want to be called a hoe. You know what I mean? You just didn't want that image or that stigma attached to you. And I didn't grow up in a Christian household, but I tell you what, that was one of the things that kept me from sleeping around, because I didn't want to become what the guys in the neighborhood were deeming as not attractive.
That's right.
And so, but you can't even tell these girls that. Like, they almost become indignant about it, and it's so hurtful, because it's like it's just a form of deception. You know, it's sad.
The abnormal has
very
become
sad.
Normal.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. That's exactly right.
Wow.
So, but anyway, it was so good talking to you.
Yes, indeed.
Thank
sister.
you for even giving me a chance to say some things. I hope I didn't. I mean, some things I shouldn't have said.
No. Everything you said was right on point and needed. Look, we have we're in some trying times and some severe times. We need to say some severe things, but the way you shared it was right on point. And if anybody got stung, that means they're getting healed. When you have that wound and put the alcohol on it, you get stung, but that wound is getting cleaned out and you're getting better. So if you got stung by anything that was said here, then hey, it's helping you to get better, and there's a chance you can be healthy. That's the way I look at it.
Yeah,
and
I hope that these.
And for anything that's wrong with me,
somebody's out there messing with a married man. They're gonna be mad when they. Hard.
I can't wait to get this feedback, and we're definitely going to do something within this week. And I'm going to be bugging you until we do it because I really enjoyed this. I really did.
Okay, so likewise, this is really good.
Thank you so much, sister.
So I'm gonna send out your because I told a couple of my friends, they was like, "Oh, you should do it. You should do it. You should go and be on his show." I was like, "Okay, we'll do it."
Beautiful.
So all right.
This is just the beginning. Okay, have a wonderful night, Summer. Thank you.
Okay, you too. Bye-bye.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Make sure to check out the boldest blog at Lancescurv.com and follow SCURV on Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube under Lancescurv.